Hello and welcome to another video in the series Living by Design, and today we're focusing on the psychological development of the child. They need that sense of belonging. First of all, the attachment is the placenta. Before they are born, they are attached and they feel it, they are aware of it. We may think that an unborn child doesn't know. I've watched a sonograph being done on a mother who was 8 months pregnant. This child's heartbeat was about 140, 150. And then the father walked in and he started speaking up. And the child's heart started racing, even, sort of going to 160, 170. And when he came closer, and the child could feel that my daddy is here. You could hear that the heartbeat was calming down a bit, going back to where it was before. And beautifully, this father spoke to the unborn child, and you could hear the calm that came over. So we must not underestimate what a child can understand even before birth. Shortly after birth, they pick all those things up. They pick up what is in the environment. They pick up feelings. They pick up vibes. So we need to be careful about the environment, the psychological environment that we have the child develop in. So first of all, it's the placenta, then it's the breast. And do not underestimate that breast milk. Children who have been breastfed, they generally are a little more healthy. They develop a very strong immune system. But I think that children who have not been breastfed, their first line of defense is fever. So they develop fevers quite often. Instead of going through phases that a normal child would go of a line of defense, the last line of defense of a normal child would be the fever, whereas that would be about the first of a child who has not been breastfed. So our choices in life early, it's not the child's choice, it's the parent who makes the choices. The choices that we make for children, we need to look at the long-term effects. So it is, first of all, placenta, it is the breast, and then the hand. The child then walks by mother and father's hands, or by whatever family member or caregiver, but their hands are held. And when it's time for the hands to let go, psychologically, they should be strong enough. Psychologically, they should feel, I feel comfortable in this world. I have trust in this world. And one of the things that betrays the trust of a child is when we taunt a child. So we never taunt a child. We never taunt children, or anybody for that matter. It destroys the trust. We do not taunt at all. It breaks trust. We must remember that children learn by our actions before they can understand our words. So what we display to the child in our actions, in our what we allow the child to be exposed to, that is very important, because for the first 2 years of the child's development, that is a time when the character is formed. And it is best for the child to spend that first 2 years with the parents at home to get the values that the family espouses, and to live the type of life that the parents would want them to live. It is very difficult for a child to distinguish at a very young age that this is what I do at home and that is what I do at the creche or wherever I am. And particularly when they have developed those things already from, let's say, 2, 3, 4, 5 months old in a creche. When a child starts developing character, it must start at home with the family values. I know there are circumstances where financially the mother is forced to go and work, but the sacrifice there is, do I sacrifice now or do I sacrifice later? Do I invest now or do I invest later? Because during teenage years, the lack of parental supervision may only surface when children are maybe at starting high school and they become problem children. And think where we want to invest our time and money, whether it's in the early child development or whether it's going to be, sort of making up when the child is in teenage years, when it's problematic already, and it's going to be a lot more difficult to reverse those things. So it's better to plant young and allow it to grow than allow whatever to grow and then try to remedy the situation a bit later. Children also have a very, very, very good quality. They have spontaneous exploratory behavior. They want to see and check everything that's out there. They are curious. We should not kill that curiosity. We shouldn't call them hyperactive if they are inquisitive, if they inquire about their world, if they're jumping up and down and think it's sugar. Sugar cannot do anything. If we have sugar in the body, there's a child to jump up and down, everybody should be doing it. So it's not sugar that allows a child or that causes a child to what they call become hyperactive. A child uses, like everybody else, they use the sugar like any other person would use it. The cells would break it up for energy. And it only does that when the child is active. If the child is not active, that sugar will be converted into fats and put somewhere. So sugar does not cause a child to jump up and down, but sugar drives the brain. So we should, maybe a lack of sugar will cause the child to become dysfunctional, yes, because the brain doesn't function properly. Sugar is the only nutrient that the brain uses. And if there is too little sugar in the body, it will break down fats, it will break down even protein to convert it into sugars and then feed it to the brain. The brain cannot use any other form of nutrient. We need to look at the exploratory behavior of the child as something positive, not as something to be nipped in the bud. Assist them, allow them to do it, help them find out, for example, if they're playing with keys. Show them how the key fits into the keyhole. Show them what it's for, and then tell them also, or somehow explain to them in their language at your level. You know where your child, you know where he or she is at their level of development. Explain to them that this is not to be played with. And then also do not put it in a reach of the child so that you have to hit the child to stop doing things. As adults, we need to take more responsibility of the child's behavior. Be overseers, not security guards. And then we're looking at something where they say that's ADHD or ADD, attention deficit. My take on that is, yes, there is attention deficit from the parent to the child. That child has nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with the child. The child just needs supervision. The child needs guidance. The child needs special attention. If I, as a parent, invest my time in the child would be fine. We need to guide the child. We need to understand the child. We need to take the time. It is the time that the child wants from us, not our stuff, not our money. That is time, and not quality time, quantity as well. Spend enough time with the child so that they feel wanted, so that they feel valued, so that they feel that I am part of this family. We must remember that children are very, very sensitive. Although they can't express what they are feeling is real. And acting out is one way of them telling us that something isn't right. We are not happy with our situation, so we need to find out. Quite often it could be that there is maybe a strain between parents, and they pick it up and they feel that they're going to be abandoned. So it's important that we do take note of those things. If there's maybe some conflict in the home, don't underestimate the child's ability to understand at their level. Explain to them, show them that this is what is happening, this is what can happen, etc., and you will not be left out in the cold. Let them understand that as early as possible. Also, if there is a case where parents have to separate, there's something that really bothers me, and that is the court decision. I think children are often being treated like a commodity. You spend 2 weeks here and 3 weeks there, etc., shuttling between two parents. Is that healthy for the child? Who are we pleasing, the child or the parents? If the child feels more comfortable with one parent, I think the other parent should accept and maybe, sort of make an arrangement. But shuttling a child at the often they are so traumatized when they have to go either to the one or the other parent. And it's not a matter of the one parent making up the child against the other. The children have feelings of their own. And to respect those feelings, it is vital. Uh, Whatever happens in a child's life in early ages, it carries through to adulthood. And that will be, they will live that out as adults as well. And children who are disrespected in that regard, nobody's taking note of my feelings, I don't matter. They often become bullies. Often it is those who have been bullied who become bullies as well. So if you have been bullied as a child and you become older, do not bully other children because they will become bullies. It takes a lot of time to work through all these traumatic years, all the traumatic experiences. So just as a last note, that children need time. They need time and they need time. They need supervision. They need guidance. And if we look at the ABC of parenting, ABC, they learn from actions before the conversations, right? They understand our actions before they understand our conversations. DEF, we have to deliver encouragement frequently. If they do something, we need to encourage them. We need to praise them. GHI, we guide his or her independence. We don't smother them. We guide them to where they can become self-sufficient. And then JKL, which a lot of us have to go through, just keep listening because they talk and talk, so just keep listening. MNO, we mold natural opportunities. That says if an opportunity comes up for education, whatever is around, we take that opportunity and we educate them, or we use that opportunity to bond, whatever it may be, but we mold our natural opportunities. So I'm molding this natural opportunity to say to you, please look after the children. They are our future. Thank you.